Hi again. So, part 4, showing and not telling. This is a big one for me as an author, as a writer, as an editor. I want to just see your story as a movie. I want to feel it. I want to experience it. And this is something that I know you can do. So, we're going to be doing lots of practice with this and get things rolling. You guys are ready? Here we go. All right. Maybe if I can get ready, we'll be ready. Okay, showing something and not telling something is all about the connection, okay? The bonding that glues humanity together is done through stories, okay? Stories, they drill a hole into your heart. They drain the color of love like the color of our cheeks. They can also plug the hole with grit and perseverance and fill our souls with fire that ignites others. Story have absolute power. Mm, 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 mm. Could you see some imagery within that? That's showing. All right. So we need to have the 5 senses for connection. So here's the difference between these 2 sentences. Okay, number 1, the dog was happy to see me when I came home. Or I was greeted with wet nose kisses and a thumping tail against the door casing. What did you see? You see something different? Okay, let's look at the 5 senses there. We were greeted with actual feeling of something wet. We could hear something thumping against the door. We could see in your mind's eye something coming towards you, right? The more senses you can have when you're actively telling somebody, showing this idea through the story, that's when they invest and really connect. So here's some examples that I have for you. He was angry at Jim. Here's the showing part. He had a white-knuckled grip on his desk while Jim was talking. I want to know why that white-knuckled grip was happening. I want to know, did he just like knock over his coffee and it spill over his computer and his computer's blowing up over there? Is it something more sinister, like he's dating his girlfriend, but he thought it was Jim's girlfriend? I mean, you just never know. All right. Number 2, she was in disbelief. Her mouth hung open as the positive test stick shook in her hand. How many of you guys thought of a pregnancy test? I know that was where my brain went first. Okay, here's another telling part. Number 3, I was so excited. I won. Yay. Or, my heart thundered against my ribs as the medal was placed around my neck. Good, yeah? Okay. Number 4, they were so happy. Or, my feet jumped, my fist pumped in the air, and their smiles were electrifying. Cool? Last one, he was very disappointed. His fingers slid down and scanned the names on the list until it rested on the edge of the paper. His name was not there. Can you feel the disappointment versus me telling you he was disappointed? Kind of getting this idea? Okay. Now, I'm not saying that every single sentence has to have this, but when you want the impact, put it in there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put it in there. Okay, so you want to connect the emotional connection in people, and there's lots of ways to do it. Catherine Bateson says, the human species thinks in metaphors and learns through stories. True that. When clients or readers or anyone connects with you, they will most likely want to purchase your book, purchase your coaching program, or whatever, because they're connected and they're willing to invest because they're going to get the benefit. Okay? So bring them into your world, bring them into your pain, your tragedy, but also inspire them with hope, with service, with a solution. This is the essence of connection. So readers, they want to understand, they want to feel the pain for a little bit, because then they can connect with you. But they'll stay in that pain for just a little while until they can see, okay, there's a solution here. And that's great. And I'm assuming that's why many of you are probably writing today. You want to feel the language, you want to see it, you want to, experience it in as many 5 senses as you can. So This is a good friend. His name is Jim Edwards. He's amazing. He has all this marketing and writing, and he's like an 8-figure guy, like amazing. It's not about the money, but he has discovered and understood something that's really important. There's the quote: people buy on emotion, and then they justify with the logic. So if you want them to buy anything, change their emotional state. Connect with them. I'm not just talking about purchasing, but at the same time, I kind of am, because you want them to buy the book, right? Okay. So emotionally, you have to tell the right story. For many of the readers, they read for information. Sometimes they read for escape. They read for knowledge. And they're going to take cues from your words, from whatever emotion that you're feeding them. So make sure that you're telling them a good story. And the emotions will be there if you're going to tell them the right story, right? This is by Hannah Ardent. She says, storytelling reveals the meaning without committing the error of defining it. Yeah. You want to jump in, feel it right away, experience it. Again, I know you're not writing fiction, but it doesn't matter. Your story has impact and emotion and pulls people in. And that's the point of this. Please don't define. You're not an English dictionary. You can have some of that in there if you need, if something's really technical or whatever. But I wrote my second book that has a lot of definitions within this, thinking that it would be helpful and supportive. I ended up taking out a lot. I probably should have taken out a lot more. So please learn from my mistakes, okay? You want to be able to share more of the story. I would end up tending to get into a pattern of I define something, then I put a story to it. Or really, I should have had the story and then ask questions afterwards. Again, learn from my mistakes. So here are some practicing for you guys. So I gave you one if you want, or change it and fix it, however you want to do it. I sat at the table. I dropped heavily into the hard chair, my hand scraping my knuckle on the table. Ow. Hurt. He was angry. I felt sad, tired, and depressed. She was excited. So put a little scene in there to show me what this stuff means. It'll get your mind thinking about how to really express that. Okay? Awesome. So that's the practice that we have today. And I'm going to be coming back to you guys all here. All right. So let me know if that stuff works. And please, 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 please practice. And if you are stumped and don't know what, grab some audiobooks, go to the library, start reading some things and see how it's shown as opposed to always telling. Writers really are good readers because as they read, more things come into their mind to know how to express themselves with. Okay, cool? Again, email's underneath there. Contact through Facebook, contact Angela or Laura at any time. We'll see you guys soon.